All right, this is the railroad tracks, the rail bed. What you're looking at is the Basha Wetlands. I don't know if you can see all those Canada geese out there and beaver huts. Actually, those are goose nests, those hummocks. They're actually called goose hummocks. And then some islands, and then down there in that big pine tree that's up on the hill on the other side on the island, that's where the bald eagles nest. And it is right across the street from the Basha Vineyards, which is an awesome place if you ever get a chance. And this is a nice hike. This is a great place to canoe. We got some canoeing footage and kayaking footage we'll put up. And here's all the information, and it tells all about when the Basha Area Association sets up the Eagle Watch, and how important it is as a bird conservation area. And that's my beautiful wife. And it's what, 23 degrees here, you said? Yes. So let's go, after you, baby doll. The only issue that we've had with this place is that when it warms up, there's a lot of ticks. So we do this walking this time of year, and this is one of several hikes. We're headed south on the rail trail, rail bed, whatever you want to call it. You can head from here north on the rail bed, or you could go to the other side and hit the towpath, and we'll do all those. You can see where all the railroad ties are still in place and buried in the ground, how the ground is striped here, and that manifests itself in different volumes of snow remaining. Of course, Zeus and Odin love these walks in an area like this because there's a lot of other dogs. It is dog friendly. Pick up after your dog. As always, little indigestion, and enjoy my wife's and my bickering. Taking a pee, taking a pee. We're just walking slowly. Just wondering, can you hear the geese barking? This place is renowned as one of the premier bird sighting areas, watching areas in the region. There's also a really cool flatland on the other side of the Schwangunk Ridge. We'll do that one someday too. But we can't bring the dogs there because that's actually a nature preserve. Okay. Nice and easy, Zeus.
Easy.
Go ahead, hon. If you bend your knees, it's a lot easier. But if you look, if you go like this, it's a lot easier. I know it looks funny and everything. I'm waiting for your comments to tell me not to walk like that. Always dug these little ponds on this side. Always filled with frogs. So of course they had to make the railroad tracks go as straight as possible. And I'm trying to get some views here through the shrubbery. Oh, this is a good one. A lot of deer hoof prints, dog footprints, people footprints. It's a little outlook. This ice expanse in front of us is only like 2 feet deep and it fills up with weeds. It's a little deeper out that way, and there are channels that go through that are marvelous for canoeing and kayaking. Oh, that's the little island, first little island, second little island. There's a big island on the other side of that. And we're going to go down through the sanctuary. Well, it's not really a bird sanctuary, but it's the watching, viewing areas. Somebody had a doggo in here. A couple of doggos. A couple of deer. It's always such a nice walk. Because it's like one of the few hikes that I like where it's close to the road. That yellow house over there is actually on the other side of the road. And this is part of... Is this part of the long path, or is that the other side? I don't know. Let's see what their mark says. If they incorporated this into the long path. Because originally the long path was the one that George Washington's army took from New York to Albany, right? Oh, pickup time. Make editing easy.
Yep.
Okay. All right, pick up after your dog. That's what you were edited out there. I don't like to video me picking up dog poop, but we'll do a public service announcement for that. How about that, Sue? Okay, that was a fuel oil truck going by. Now we are right close to the road here. This little path will show you how close. This is where people are bringing their four-wheelers and snowmobiles onto this trail. Okay, but you can see that house is on the other side of the road. It's one of the prettier houses down here. It's a really old house, and there's a guy who he's taken decades to restore it, and he's done an amazing job. Amazing. Oh, he's taking a peeps. Come on, buddy. I don't know what's taking her so long, Oates. Usually I'm like the one who has to work hard, because you're in better shape than me now these days.
I'm just washing my footing.
Liking that walking stick though, aren't you?
Here when it's icy, I need it.
Okay, Susie and I had a little chat between this and the last hike, and my wife told me I could be more instructive and nicer about it. Now these are trail markers, and just so you know, when you have trail markers like this, you have one in the center. This is for a trail that goes straight, but when it goes like this off to the side, that means you want to turn that way. So as I'm reading this, the trail goes over here, and this is in fact, you see the long path, which is a long historical path. So we're going to take this way. I think that way looks like it's blocked off by mud and stuff, hon. We used to go down there, but you see there's a tree across. Is that a cross?
That stopped us before.
But not like that stopped us before. Yeah, good point. Oh, we're going to end up going this way one way or another, so we could come back that way, and if we have to turn around, then we'll turn around, right? The idea is to get some traveling in. So we've left the railroad path. We are on a footpath, and it is in fact the long path, which goes all the way to Albany from here and all the way to the George Washington Bridge if you head south, which is kind of cool. Right now this ground is filled with that real deep frost. If I can get a good example of it, I'll show you. When you walk on it, the frost breaks and you sink about 1.5 inches. It's when the water in the ground crystallizes and pushes up through the dirt. And nice. A little bit icy. Hun, if you walk towards this edge, it's good rigid snow. See where my feet are? Come on, Oates. See where I'm walking? It's alright, it's flat, honey. Like a chain around the tree. I guess somebody maybe was chaining their boat up. Alright, this might give you a little bit of a trickety, so you want to keep one foot. You see where my outside foot is? Baby doll? Yeah. And you'll be okay. You keep your feet to the outs, look, to the outsides. This is going to be where it's going to give you a hard time. Right there. Once you're past that, you should be okay. Do you need a hand? Zeus, come on. Rose, let me fix your... Go on, buddy. Yeah, this is a little bit icy, baby. Yeah, I'm going to try over here. Staying like with your feet just on the outside edge of the trail is really the best. I'm finding that to be the best, Suze. If you want me to slow up so you can grab on, let me know. Okay? Hon? Did you hear me? So if you want me to slow up so you can grab on, let me know. If we look down, you might see fish through the clear ice.
Just looked down.
It's because Zeus understands 7 different languages. Our dog Zeus, just so you know, YouTube world, is the smartest dog ever that lived. Like, really. It is quite amazing. Alright, he's half shepherd, half Rottweiler, and incredibly smart. Now, this is the end of the second little island, and then there's a channel on the other side of that in the big island, and on the big island is where the bald eagles nest. And when we get down here, there's a viewing platform that helps you look out over all of this. We'll check that out. Come on, Oz. Ah, much nicer, Suze. Odin's got to pee on everything. Nice little pine grove. I forgot to make sure my wife brought her phone with her. That's how we check our mileage. You did bring your phone, right? And just so you know, folks, when you see my wife wearing all brown Carhartts, it's cold for her. Because that's her super warm gear. You warm enough, baby? Nice and toasty, right? Yep. How's the new shoes? Your feet warm? They were good up for the falls, right? Yep. Come on, waterproof. This is good walking over this side, babe. Where there's been no foot traffic, if you can. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I guess that's the, well, no, it goes back to the railroad tracks around where all the trees were down. Come on, Oates. Come on. I wish I bought another walking pole with me. No, I want you to have it. More concerned about you than me. What? No, those are four-wheeler tires. Big knobbies. Actually, you know what? It looks like tractor tires.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Okay. A lot of neat trees. Like this one here. I walk down next to this. Now, if you put a kayak in, this is one of the places, if the weeds aren't up, you can get to, look at these cool twisty oak trees. If you have a kayak that you put in where we were, there's the channel through the islands. Okay, we'll go over this from here. If you have a kayak that you put in from where we were, you would go around the islands on the right hand side here. I'm hoping we're getting that. And then you would come through that center channel of the islands, and that's the big island with the big pine. Oh, there's a bald eagle. I wonder if the camera's picking him up or if he's too far away. Circling over the big pine, see him?
Yeah.
We see a lot of bald eagles here. And in this area in general. The other day we were coming home from New Paltz and we found one feasting on a deer in a field, which was amazingly wildlife show cool. I'm hoping you could see that with the GoPro, the way the lens is, but that white pine is the nesting, and it always has been the nesting site on the left-hand side of that channel on the big island. Anyway, if you put in where we put in, which is over here, all the way to the right-hand side, you would go around these islands and through the channel, and you can land your kayak or canoe right here and get out to use this viewing station, which Odin and I are going to go up and take a look from. And then there's these cool twisty oak trees, which are very graveyardy this time of year, aren't they? I love that one with the hole in it up there. Right on the edge of the path. See it there, babe? Yep. So we're going to go and check out the viewing platform, which it looks like they've done a shit ton of work to, which is cool. And then there's that hole in the tree. And come on. They just did this. There's sawdust on top of the snow. This is brand new. Go ahead, Oates. Usually they don't like, go ahead, Oates. Usually Odin doesn't like open tread stairs. Go ahead, little buddy. All right. Now that's a view.
It's beautiful in fall.
This is one of the larger areas of the kill. And right out here in the center, and right to the beginning of the islands, it's the deepest part of the kill. This area right in here, you can see where it's all the darker ice. That is called Goose Pond, and that is, we sounded that at 36 feet deep, was the deepest that we found. Most of the channels are about 7 feet deep, and all the sides tend to be 3 or 4 feet deep. There's a lot of muck, but there's also a lot of places that are nothing but sand and gravel. Really good quality stuff. And if you could see through this tree line how that gray trees there are level right in front of my hand, I hope I'm getting this in the frame. The ground is level. That is the old canal towpath. That's another hike we're going to do at a different time. Do you want to hold Odin? I'll go down to the bottom.
Let me tuck my glove in.
You got a little seam that's hurt. It's giving you a little chill. How's that? You want to hold him? Because what I was going to say is if you just let them go down the stairs, it might be easier. Here, let me, because their stairs are so steep, and then if you let them go one at a time, I'll get them down here. Okay. Come on, Oates. Shh, nice and easy. You know what, Sue? Just walk down in front of them. Nice and easy. Walk down in front of them. Good boy, Zeus. He is a good dog. Zeus, you're the best. Now, you got to get them walking for a little while to get this sawdust off their feet because it's pressure treated wood, so. Come on, fellas. Well, we've just got to remember to dust their feet before we get in the car, just in case. So yeah, that's the Goose Pond. Now this is all south of Haven Road. We started about 1.5 miles, I believe, south of Haven Road, in case you look at a map for the Basha kill. Now years ago, I'm not sure it ever was legal, but everybody used to, when I first moved to this area, everybody I knew used to come down here and camp overnight, have big bonfires. Nobody ever bothered you. I don't think people do that anymore. We're going to be able to get, I think, a much nicer view of the, I think you can see it there, really well delineated on the other side. There's a lot of interesting things on the other side too. There's all sorts of remnants of the old D&H canal, and things like, you know, old houses, house sites. They tore the houses down. There's no remnants of the houses, but there is a neat old cemetery. And there's all sorts of remnants of bridges over the canal and the locks. And it's a pretty cool historical trail. It's a really pretty place to hike. And it's a nice wide trail. You could do it all times of year. You don't have to worry too much about ticks. You do have to check yourself, but it's not as bad because of the width of the trails. All right. I'm guessing we're on the trail. This is where everybody else walked. I didn't see any trail markers, but it's pretty clear. Oh, there's a trail marker. Now, this whole wetland, I believe at its widest, it's like 3/4 of a mile. I'll check that. I'll check out how wide it is. Put your hand out like this. And Susie will hold how wide it is at its widest point. Thank you, Susie. But it is not very wide. If you're looking for some place to avoid the sounds of man, this is not it. You'll always hear traffic. Route 209 is on the other side. Route 209 is, I believe, the oldest American highway, or the oldest highway in New York at the very least. It's the old King's Road. Predates the Revolutionary War. And along the hill, there are some really neat, all up and down through the town of Mamaking, there's some really neat cemeteries. The Stanton Cemetery, Westbrook Cemetery. There's the cemetery that's on the other side here, where coincidentally, right on the other side, the cemetery that's in the wetlands proper, is where Jackson Pollock's sister is buried. She had a summer house right along the rail trail, the towpath trail. But looks like somebody was doing a little bush crafting. That's cool. Wonder if they camped out overnight. But anyway, yeah, there's quite a bit to see in here, and there's a nice waterfall. You're not allowed up it, and that's because people get hurt, like, consistently. When you look at it, you'll know it's a stone sheet that's on like a 75-degree angle, and you don't make it up without falling. And it flows with high water flows and rains and things, and it is pretty, and it freezes over nicely sometimes. But that's on the South Road side. And of course, to finish up your day is the Basha Vineyards, which is always lovely. This is a path. Maybe this is the other path that we saw. Well, we're going to check that out when we come back, or we'll go the rail trail when we come back. I'm just curious as to why they cut off the rail trail. You know what I mean? I think it maybe gets too wet. See, they have us turn in here. Come on, Oates. And as you can see, you know, this is all man-made, Lake Phil. If you look carefully here when you're here, the camera flattens everything out, but you'll be able to see where there were sandbanks, you know, little sand quarries and gravel quarries, because this is all glacial till materials they needed to build the canal or the railroad or whatever. There's also the famous Wurtsboro lead mines, which are now sealed with better security than most government buildings. They ain't getting in there, which is sad because it was really neat in there. I have footage of those I'll dig up and we'll post that. Okay, that's a swamp. That's why they're sending us this way. And you got a nice little boardwalk. Ooh, Sue, walk over the posts. Don't walk in the middle of these boards, okay? Did you hear me? They look a little rotten, some of them. I don't need any broken ankles. Take your time right there, hon. Okay, we're appealing to the child in me. Can I have the pokey stick? because I just love doing this. You ready? Cool. Wait, there's a whole other side. You want to do some? Just poke straight down. No, you're going too hard. All you, babe. That was fun. Now the path goes off to our left here, but there is a really neat little post out here to look out over the kill. So let's go check that out. And this walkway is in much better shape. A little bit of ice on the ramp, but if you go slowly, you'll be okay, babe. This takes you out on this little peninsula, which gives you a view south towards the end of the kill. It's like a couple of big giant hummocks. And this is another canal where if you have a kayak, you can get in here. It's kind of cool little harbor, but a place to stop and rest. You see the channel coming in here from the right hand side from the main channels. Just a neat little place. You can pull up your boat. It is beautiful here. It's been a nice quiet day too. Back we go. Okay, that's the way we came in, and this is the way we're going. A little walkway here, a couple of little walkways, and it's bringing us back to the railroad track area. Now this is an additional parking area. Okay. Look how clear that water is.
Pretty clear.
You ain't kidding. Look at it here. It's like glass. It's beautiful. All right. The one good thing about these nice chilly days is it keeps people away from you. No? These nice chilly days, it keeps people away from these places. You only got the hardcores. Come on. Well, the rail path doesn't come down here, it looks like. The one we just took. This is the parking lot for the waterfalls. Do you want to go look at the waterfall? It's right there. Come on, Oates. This is a carry-in, carry-out facility, and there are people who leave crap. Prior to COVID, I would always pick stuff up, but I gotta tell you, I gotta be honest with you, I'll pick up my own stuff now, but I ain't touching anything anybody else touched. We're gonna go take a quick look at the waterfalls. which is a quick turnaround and a little bit of walking north. And you'll see what I was talking about why they close off the waterfalls. You okay there, baby doll? Because it is super steep. Now, this is the road we drove in on, and if you keep heading in this direction, we're headed north again. You will, in fact, end up right where our car is parked. Now, you can pull a car over up here on the right-hand side. There's a little bit of gravel, but that parking spot's really the best place. In the spring and summer, especially when the vineyard's open, this road does get quite busy, so you be careful. I personally have been arrested for being up on that hill, even though I was completely set free because it's completely unmarked. And well, no, it's not marked. We came in from the other side and there's no markings up there. We were actually told, just so you know, by the ranger that they get tired of having to put the signs up because they have to do it all the time, which to me is like, you know, lazy. Well, you're not doing your job. Why am I going to be punished for it? But there is the waterfall. It's freezing up, and you can, I don't know if you could tell how steep that is, but that is steep. 75, 80 degrees, and it is one broken ankle, leg, arm after another. Whoever you think you are, it's like climbing a greased flagpole. You make it up so far, and when you fall on it, you fall. So just don't. If they still let you up around the top side, it's flatlands and there's a nice perch, but you really can't get close to the waterfall at all. You can't see any of it, and it's not even worth the effort because up there it's just woods with nothing, you know. And then there's a house up there, and they do patrol it, and they're serious about it, you know. And at a certain point you can get it because I've had to come get people here. Anyway, this is the waterfall. My wife's like egging me on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. She wants nothing to do with this, but she wants to be the director. All right, babe, we have to go back this way. Are we going back to the car on the road? Is that what you're doing? What? You don't want to do the rest of the trail?
Oh, it goes back the other way, right?
Goes down this way, and then when we go back, there's a whole other trail. Plus, I want to get these guys off the salt sooner than later. Know what I'm saying? I know how you love your waterfalls. I don't know if, well, I'll tell you what, let's take a look at this. If there's not a trail from this parking lot to the next parking lot, which I believe there is.
You know what, though, when we went...
I think you have to go up the parking road a little bit.
No, remember when we went back, there was another little path.
No, 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 going that way. I'm talking about, not that way. Well, we're going to find out. Right, that's what I'm saying. We didn't run into them, so is there a trail to that parking lot from here? I don't think I've ever walked this part all my years I spent here. Can't forget, most of my knowledge of this place is via boat. Watch your step, babe. Now, one of the good things they do here is that they don't plow or sand these parking lots. And for the winter, it does keep the traffic down. And it makes it nicer. Anything where you do where you hike, I mean, face it, the reality is you don't want to be around other people. You're looking for a more natural setting. Like I said, in the spring and summer, this place does get
I don't think there's anything right here.
well. The railroad tracks had to come through here somewhere.
Okay.
The question is has it been maintained to the point where there's a trail? If you were to ask me, that would be the railroad tracks right there. See how level that is? See all the deer path? But I don't see any footpath. Or do I? Is there one right along the water? Where? Yeah, but I think there's a footpath right along the water. Let me just, come on, Oates. Now we're gonna just do a little bushwhack here. Maybe we missed a turn off. Oh sure, there's a trail right there. See it? Right along the water. How do you get to it though? Can you get to it? No, I mean from the parking lot. Look at the size of that cherry tree, nice. Do you want to go back that way and we'll take a look? See if we missed something? Alright, do I have my flashing light?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Am I being more polite, baby? And less snippety? We're not bickering enough, so people won't know it's us. So if there's not a marker right down here for the long path, going that way, we'll just go back home and we'll take the other trail through the woods. How's that sound? I mean, I wasn't even looking, quite frankly. I believe it or not, so we walked right by it. I can see it already. Okay. That was a little detour for the waterfall. And, oh, we're going left. Here's our path here. Go on, buddy. Up and over. That's running water. Just go through it. Just jump right over. You got your waterproof boots. You're like Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman! I could sing that to you all day if you want. Wonder Woman! Do 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 do. Wonder Woman! The remnants of an old building there is kind of neat. I wonder what that was for. Some old rail building. Might have been some sort of loading stanchion for gravel or something, or coaling tower, who knows. This area with coal, we'll give you a lowdown on that when we do the towpath, because the towpath is really the, come on, let's, towpath is really the coal side of the story, shall we say, not the railroad. The railroad came here very late. but we'll handle that with a towpath. So anyway, we're back on the railroad tracks, or where the railroad tracks used to be. And this is just a really nice part of the trail. You know, Sullivan County does have a few things to offer in regards to hiking and whatnot, especially, you know, between Sullivan and Ulster. Mostly Ulster, though, is all the good hiking we've done in the Catskills. But Sullivan does have some good stuff. You get down towards the Delaware and along the river. We've had some fun experiences down there. We'll get to that in the spring, post-COVID. And this is the last open expanse of the Basha wetlands, and it does not look like this in the spring and summer and fall when the weeds are up. It's more like a grassy wetlands, it looks like. You see all these brown weeds come up full with channels through it. You can get kayaks and canoes through it, but not everywhere you want to go. But it really is, it's a really great adventure just to check out. Bring a camera for photographers. You can really catch some great stuff here, the birds especially. But the landscape, the flowers, the flora here is a lot of really pretty stuff. No, stay away. We're gonna come up to the, what I call the slide. I've only done it twice. In my canoe I did it, and it only worked half of the time. So one time I really took quite a cold dip, and it sucked because it's hard to get out. So I was gonna freeze to death before I got back to my truck with all my gear. I didn't think if I was gonna do this that I'd ever fail. But we slide, you'd slide down, up. Time to pick it up. Yeah, we don't pick up again poo on the video. We pick it up, we just, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, there was a path up here. I mean, you're talking about 15, 18 years ago. It's the last time I did it. First time I did it, it was successful. Second time, it was not. And I never tried it again. And like I said, I didn't think to bring dry clothes with me, which would have made my life a hell of a lot better. But there's a spot up here where it used to be a straight shot down the hill, and in deep snow, if you had a kayak or a canoe, you could just scoot right down this hill in it, put your stuff in, put yourself in, and into the water. I believe this is the spot right here. Yeah, this is it. Yep. You can see how deep the snow had to be, but you could do it. It was right in here somewhere. That might be up a little further. I used to take, there's a pullover up there, and there was like a little shot, and in really deep snow you could put a kayak or a canoe up there and get in it and ride it down. I did it with Nathan, and the second time we did it, he was doing it in a kayak. He went right in, no problem. But the second time we did it, I spilled and I was soaking wet, and we had to go home, and it was really hard to get the gear out. And I didn't bring, like, if I was smart, I would have bought dry clothes to change into. Come on, Odin. You know what I mean? And then I could have got my stuff, but I didn't do that. And you know, when you're young and a tough guy.
Unprepared, not like that usually.
No, usually then I was prepared, but when you're young and a tough guy, preparation means something different. You know, back then yeah, what's the worst? It's only 100 feet to the truck. Coldest 100 feet of my life. This might be it right here. Actually, I think this is it right here. This is it right over here. Yeah, but you're trying to get a canoe and all your stuff. First you have to get it out of the ice and water because it's cold. Yeah, this is it right here. Somewhere right here. This is it right here. Little trees in here. No, Odin. Yep. See the spring coming out right there? Look how clear that water is. But yeah, this is it right here. We come right through here, right out and in. But I went in and yeah. Okay, enough of that. Enough of that foolishness. Anyway, this is a beautiful view. All the goose hummocks out there where the geese are going to nest and have their eggs. At least we see them nesting on it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just see a dozen. 13, 14, 15, 16, way over 18, 19, like 20 more. Yeah. It's a big goose nesting ground. Here's the walkout. The road is right at the crest of that little hill, so it's not very far. I guess there's a stream that runs pretty good sometimes down here, because look at the size of that culvert pipe up there.
Run off close to mountain.
Yeah.
Walk through it.
I was gonna say, want to let the dogs go through it?
No.
What? That ain't gonna be slimy. Doesn't have water sit in it. Just lets it blast out from through the road.
Take the stick, throw them on. Take my own.
If you don't need it.
Where do we get those for $2?
These?
Yeah.
No, these cost me, the pair of them cost me $14.
Did we get out of the yard sale?
And actually, I got these at Thruway in Walden.
What's the one smell? We got something out of the yard sale. I thought we had six.
Tripods for the cameras. And the one is that old, what is it? Like velour or something like that. It's like a really good tripod, super sturdy tripod. And I got 2 of them for $2. So it was $1 a piece. It was in, on our way to Mount Washington with Matt. It was just before the haunted bed and breakfast up there by Mount Washington. What's that place? The Skywood Manor. Great place to stay, by the way. You guys, little shout out to Skywood Manor. Haunted. We'll do a little series of stories of our travels. Sue and I will tell you the story. Old metal pipe. Railroad bridging pipe. You see that? 2 pieces that go together. Super heavy cast iron. That's pretty cool. I used to fish right here. I used to catch bass a lot. Come on, Odin. So yeah, there are cool remnants of the railroads in and out of here. This path that we're on runs from the Orange County, New York border. Well, actually, this whole linear path for the D&H Canal goes on and off for like 109 miles. Honesdale, PA to Kingston, New York, this corridor. But this one in section that we're on actually goes, if you stay on the railroad tracks, it'll take you from Westbrookville right through the middle of the village of Wurtsboro, and then it'll go up through Summitville and Phillipsport, and it's a pretty neat trail. You're on and off of the canal towpath and the railroad tracks, and then there's places like this, of course. Like I was saying, the canal towpath is on the other side of the kill, and the railroad tracks are over here. So we are going to just finish off here our hike, and we're going to be coming up to the other parking spot. It looks like I see the rocks to keep the vehicles off. Come on, buddy. And I tell you, it's like having big rocks like this is a plus and minus. You know, people get hurt in here. You gotta carry them out. Usually they have gates. Okay, this is one of the lower parking lots. And how far you want to go, babe? Because this is just gonna dead end.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. You want to just go down? It looks like the end's right there. How do you want to do it, babe? All right, this is a straight shot right to the end. What's that?
You turn at the tree there.
I think we should go to the end. Please. I got a beg with my wife. So there are a couple of trails for you to explore back behind us, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video right when we get to the end of this trail, because what this does is this ends at the main channel where the railroad tracks actually crossed over the Basha Kill. And my wife's like slacking up to do as little as walking as possible so that I can go to the end and then turn around and come and get her. And she'll be like, oh, you turned around. Anyway, good boy, Odie. Come on, there's a path right out of the woods, the deer trail. Oh no, that's the little trail. That's the long path right there. See that? The trail actually goes out to the road. I'm wondering if it goes up that logging road. No, we're not. We're just going right here. The reason I wanted to go here is because if I remember correctly, there's a railroad bridge abutment because it goes across the main channel of the Kill. Now, for people who don't know, Kill is the Dutch word for river. And New York, long before the English, was settled by the Dutch. Most famous, Henry Hudson, ergo the Hudson River. And the Dutch footprint here is substantial. Most of the rivers are kills. They're called kills. Kill Van Cole, Basher Kill, Fish Kill, Platter Kill, Peekskill. You could go on and on and on. And what we're looking at here is the last remnants of a tiny little railroad bridge made from cut stone. This is the main Basher Kill channel. So, yeah, it might be. Look how deep it is here. This is nice. This would be a nice swimming hole if it weren't the Basha Kill and leeches. But yeah, here you go, and that's where the Basha Kill turns into a river, and then there's a fairly spectacular winding river through the woods, which I think we should canoe one day. Where it's like this and it just goes through wooded areas. So yeah, there's this. All right, so we're going to turn around and go back. We might take another little side trail, but we'll leave those up for you to explore. And that was the hike, and it is beautiful. So we could hear a crow in the distance. And I'm just kind of really enjoying how beautiful my lovely wife is right now. She's like, he wants something. And she knows. Maybe she'll cook me a nice dinner. So what do you think, wife? Nice hike?
Yep.
All right, we'll put the miles in when we're done. Hold your hand out so we can put miles. Put the miles on Susie's hand. You gotta hold it for a couple of seconds because last time you did it, it was only on there for like 1 second. You're like, bloop, bloop. Okay, that's fine. And that's how many miles the hike is. We're gonna put the round trip miles. Yeah, Basha Wetlands. Leaving from the DEC launch across from the Basha Vineyards. My suggestion to you is if they're open, that you go to the Basha Vineyards when you're done hiking and have a glass of wine, maybe have some food. They have great food, super nice people on weekends. I believe April through November. They have music and they're open on weekends from noon to 6. They have a beautiful layout, ping pong table. We were there one time and there was a snake that I got to attack my camera, which was a lot of fun. Anyway, yeah, you are in the woods, but it's a great place. They make really nice wines, predominantly whites. They do serve a couple of beers from local breweries. I don't know if they have added any of the local distilleries, which we do have around here. We have some good ones, and local cideries, which we have a bunch here throughout this section of New York, because people don't know that New York is like the largest apple producer in the United States, especially along the Hudson Valley, from Warwick on up through Platterkill, New Paltz, Modena, right? Modena, Esopus, up and through there. It's just one highlands after another, orchard, all the way up to Albany. Anyway, on that note, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and come on down, give it a hike, go to the vineyards, have a good lunch. It makes a great day outing. Nice and flat too, good for kids, check for ticks, and may the force be with you.